Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you are all well. We have started chapter number 5 and it is on page number 55 of your book. In our previous lesson, we discussed some important definitions which are going to be useful in exercise 5.1. These were the definitions we discussed in lesson number 1 of chapter 5. The first definition we discussed what are parallel lines, then what is vertex, what is diagonal, right angle, what is line of symmetry, and then we discussed some properties of square. In today's lesson, we will discuss the properties of two new shapes, the properties of rectangle shape, and then we will discuss the properties of this shape. The name of this shape is rhombus. So in today's video we will discuss the properties of rectangle and the properties of this shape which is called rhombus. So just like square shape, we will discuss 5 properties of rectangle and 5 properties of rhombus. At first we will see how many equal sides a rectangle has, and then how many parallel sides a rectangle has. Then what about the angles, how many 90-degree angles are there. Then we will discuss the diagonals of rectangle, and then how many lines of symmetry a rectangle shape has. Let's start from the first property. First property of rectangle is how many equal sides a rectangle has. Let's see how many equal sides it has. It has 2 pairs of equal sides. Now if we see this shape, this side and this side, the opposite sides, these 2 sides are equal sides. Equal sides means they are having the same length. These 2 opposite sides, they are having the same length. It means if this side is 5 centimeter, this one is also 5 centimeter. So these 2 opposite sides, they are equal sides, which means they are equal in length. So these 2 sides, they form one pair. A pair means 2 sides. So these 2 sides, they form one pair of equal sides. Now we have 2 pairs, so let's see the second pair. These 2 opposite sides, this one and this one, these 2 sides are equal sides. Again, equal sides means the length of this side is equal to the length of this side. These 2 sides are equal in length. So this one is second pair. One pair is this, these 2 opposite sides are equal in length, and the second pair is this one. These 2 sides are equal in length. So we have 2 pairs of equal sides in a rectangle. Now let's see the second property. The second property is how many parallel sides, how many pairs of parallel sides we have in rectangle. It has 2 pairs of parallel sides. So just like equal sides, it has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now you know that what do you mean by parallel sides? Parallel lines means the lines that never cross each other. We discussed the definition of parallel lines in lesson number 1. The lines that never cross each other, they are parallel. Just like train tracks. The train tracks, they never cut each other, they never cross each other. It means they represent a pair of parallel lines. So a rectangle has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now let's see which 2 pairs. This side and this side, opposite sides. Opposite means in front of each other. These 2 sides they are parallel to each other, which means this one and this one, they will never cross each other. This one is cutting these two sides, they are meeting at this point. These two, they are meeting at this point, but this one and this one, they are not meeting at any point. They are not cutting each other, they are not crossing each other. Therefore, this one is parallel to this side. These two sides are parallel. This one is one pair. Now let's see the second pair, because we have two pairs of parallel sides. These two opposite sides, जिस पर two arrows बनाए हुए हैं, these two opposite sides, they are parallel to each other, which means this one will never cross this one. They will always be having the same distance between them. They will never cut each other. Therefore, this side is parallel to this side. This single arrow represents these two sides are parallel. So just to make the notation different, यहाँ पर two arrows बना दिए, but again these two arrows represent these two lines, these two sides of rectangle are parallel to each other. So we have two pairs of parallel sides. Which two pairs? One pair is this, the opposite sides. They are parallel, this is one pair, and then this one, these two sides, these two opposite sides, they are parallel. This one is second pair. So in total we have two pairs of parallel sides in rectangle. One pair is this and second pair is this. A pair means two things, two sides. Now let's see the third property. How many angles, 90-degree angles are there? All the angles in a rectangle are 90 degree. Just like a square shape, if you remember that we have discussed the properties of square. In square, all the angles are 90 degree. So the same holds for rectangle. All the angles are 90 degree. How? You can see in this diagram, this side and this side, this one and this one, they are forming a square corner here. And you know that whenever the two lines, they meet at a point and they form a square corner, a perfect square between them, it means there is an angle of 90 degree between them. So this angle is 90 degree. If you see this one, this line and this line, they are forming a square corner here. It means there is also an angle of 90 degree between these two sides. If we see this one, this side and this side, they are forming a square corner here. It shows there is an angle of 90 degree between this side and this side. If we see the fourth one, this side and then this one, these two sides are meeting at this point and they are forming a square corner. We can draw a perfect square here. They are forming a square corner. It means there is an angle of 90 degree between these two sides. So you can see that all the four angles inside the rectangle, they are all 90 degrees. So we have four 90 degree angles inside the rectangle. There are total four angles inside the rectangle and all the angles are 90 degree. Now let's see the fourth property of rectangle. It is about diagonals. Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals of the rectangle bisect each other. Now do you remember the definition of diagonal? A diagonal means a line which connects. Diagonal means a line which connects two opposite vertices, two opposite, you can say, corners of the shape. If we see in this diagram, this one and this point and this point, these are the four vertices of this diagonal, of this rectangle. Vertices means the point where two sides meet, two or more sides, that point is called a vertex. It means this one is a vertex, this one is a vertex, this one is a vertex, and this one is a vertex. Now if we see that this vertex and this vertex, they are opposite to each other, in front of each other. So this line which is connecting these two opposite vertices, these two opposite corners, this line is called diagonal. So this one is a diagonal of this rectangle. We have another diagonal, this vertex and this vertex. These two vertices, you can say corners, these two corners of the rectangle, they are opposite to each other, and this line which is joining these two corners, which is connecting these two vertices, this line is called a diagonal. So we have two diagonals in the rectangle, just like square we have two diagonals. First one is this, second one is this. Now these two diagonals bisect each other. We have discussed the meaning of this word in our previous video. What do you mean by bisect? Bisect means both the diagonals cut each other in half. If you see in this diagram, this diagonal is cutting this diagonal into two equal parts, this one and this one. One part is from this point to this point, and second part is from this point to this point. This diagonal is cutting this second diagonal into two equal parts. One part is this, one part is this. This is the meaning of bisect. Bisect means two equal parts में cut करना है, ठीक है. Now again same holds for the other diagonal. This diagonal cuts this diagonal into two equal parts. One part is this, one part is this. From this point to this point, and then this point to this point. So ये diagonal इस second diagonal को two equal parts में cut कर रहा है. This is the meaning of bisect. Each diagonal bisect the other diagonal in two equal parts. Now let's see the second part of the statement. The second part is they meet but do not at 90 degree. Diagonals bisect each other, but they do not form an angle of 90 degree where they meet. It means this point, at this point where these two diagonals are meeting, where the two diagonals are crossing each other, they do not form a 90 degree angle here. You can see that we cannot form a square corner here, we cannot form a square corner here, not here and not here. So हम स्क्वायर कॉर्नर नहीं बना सकते हैं. इट मीन्स यहाँ पर कोई भी 90 डिग्री का एंगल नहीं है. सो द डायगनल्स ऑफ द रेक्टेंगल दे बाइसेक्ट ईच अदर, विच मीन्स एक डायगनल दूसरे को टू इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करता है, बट एट द पॉइंट वेयर दे मीट दे डू नॉट फॉर्म एन एंगल ऑफ 90 डिग्री. यहाँ पे 90 का एंगल नहीं फॉर्म होता है. दिस वन इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम स्क्वायर. If you remember the properties of square, the diagonals of the square bisect each other at 90 degree. These two are the diagonals of the square. They bisect each other and also they form an angle of 90 degree at the point where they meet. But this one is different for rectangle. Square में 90 का एंगल फॉर्म होता है यहाँ पर, जहाँ पर डायगनल्स क्रॉस करते हैं, कट करते हैं, बट यहाँ पर रेक्टेंगल में 90 का एंगल फॉर्म नहीं होता है. दिस वन इज़ डिफरेंट फॉर रेक्टेंगल. सो दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज डायगनल्स बाइसेक्ट ईच अदर बट नॉट एट 90 डिग्री. नाउ लेट्स सी द फिफ्थ प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ rectangle. How many lines of symmetry a rectangle has? It has 2 lines of symmetry. And do you remember the definition of line of symmetry? A line which divides the figure into exactly 2 equal shapes. They must look like, those 2 shapes must look like the mirror image of each other, which means if we take one part and if we fold it along the line on the other part, both the parts must fit onto each other. Let's see in this diagram, this one is rectangle, and then this line is dividing this rectangle into two equal shapes, this one and this one. This line is dividing rectangle into two equal parts, and these two parts, they are just looking like the mirror image of each other, which means if you take this part, and if you just fold it on the other part along this line, then this part is going to be exactly fit onto this part. It means this line is dividing the rectangle shape into two equal parts. Therefore, this line is a line of symmetry for the rectangle. We can draw another line in rectangle. This one is rectangle, and this time if we draw a line like this, you can see that this line is dividing the rectangle into exactly these two are the equal parts. These two, they look like the mirror image of each other. This line is dividing rectangle into two equal parts, which means if we just take this part, the upper part, and if we just fold it along the line onto the other part, this part will exactly fit onto this part. If we fold this part onto this part along this line, so it means this line is dividing this rectangle into two equal parts. Therefore, this line is line of symmetry for rectangle. So और कोई line हम यहाँ पे draw नहीं कर सकते हैं which divides the rectangle into two equal parts. ये दोनों lines draw हो सकती हैं. One is this vertical line and one is this horizontal line. So how many lines of symmetry a rectangle has? A rectangle has two lines of symmetry, a vertical line of symmetry, and then we can draw a horizontal line of symmetry. These were the 5 properties of rectangle. I hope you understood. Now let's discuss our second shape. Second shape is this one. This shape, the name of this shape is rhombus. It is also a 4-sided shape, but the name of this shape is rhombus. And now we will discuss the same properties for this shape. The first property is how many equal sides a rhombus has. So just like square, a rhombus has 4 equal sides. A rhombus is a shape which has 4 equal sides. This side, this one, and this one. They are all equal in length. This is the meaning of equal sides. All the sides are having the same length, which means if this side is 5 centimeter, this one is also 5 centimeter, this one is 5 centimeter, and this one is also 5 centimeter. All the sides are having the same length. Just like square, a rhombus has all the sides equal in length. So a rhombus has 4 equal sides. This one is the first property of rhombus. Now let's see that how many pairs of parallel sides a rhombus has. It has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Now let's see where these 2 pairs are. This side and this side. These 2 opposite sides of rhombus, they are parallel to each other. Why they are parallel to each other? जिन पे मैंने ये single arrow draw किए हुए हैं. These 2 sides are parallel to each other. Why? Because they are not cutting each other. They are not crossing each other. They are not cutting each other. It means this line, this side is parallel to this side. So they form one pair. Now these 2 sides, these 2 opposite sides, जिन पर double arrow बने हुए हैं, again these 2 double arrows, these 2 arrows, they show that these 2 sides are parallel. So these two opposite sides, you can see that they are not cutting each other, these two are not crossing each other. It means this one is parallel to this one, so they form the second pair. This one is first pair जिन पर single arrow बना हुआ है. These two sides, opposite sides, they are not cutting each other, they are not crossing each other, so it means these two are parallel, they form one pair. A pair means two sides, and these two opposite sides with double arrow on them, these two opposite sides are parallel to each other, because you can see that in this shape they are not cutting each other, they are not crossing each other. So we have total two pairs of parallel sides in rhombus. Which two pairs? This one is first pair, these two opposite sides they form one pair, and then these two opposite sides, this one is second pair. So we have two pairs of parallel sides in rhombus. Now let's see the third property. Third property is related to angles. In rhombus all the angles they are not equal. We have two pairs of equal angles. In rhombus we have two pairs of equal angles. All the sides are equal, two pairs of parallel sides and two pairs of equal angles. Now let's see that which two angles are equal. यहाँ पे स्क्वायर और रेक्टेंगल की तरह 90 डिग्री एंगल नहीं है, बट हमारे पास टू पेयर्स ऑफ एंगल्स हैं एंड दे आर इक्वल. नाउ लेट्स सी विच टू पेयर्स आर इक्वल. You can see that this line and this line, these two lines they are meeting at this point. It means there is an angle between them. This one is the sign of the angle. You can see there is an angle between these two lines. This angle is equal to this angle. These two lines they are meeting at this point, and whenever the two lines meet at a point they form an angle. It means we have an angle between these two lines, and these two angles they are equal, which means if this angle is 20 degree, this one is also 20 degree. If this one is 30 degree, this one is also 30 degree. So these two angles they are always equal in rhombus. Now they form one pair. Now let's see the second pair. The second pair is this angle, this angle, because these two lines they are meeting at this point. It means there is an angle between them. This angle is equal to this angle. This one. So they form the second pair. If this one is 10 degree, this one is also 10 degree. If this one is 20 degree, this one is also 20 degree. They are always equal in size. They are always equal in measure. So we have two pairs of equal sides, two pairs of equal angles in rhombus. Which two pairs? The opposite angles. This one is opposite to this angle. These two opposite angles they are always equal. They form one pair, and these two opposite angles they are always equal. They form the second pair. So in total we have two pairs of equal angles in rhombus. These two opposite angles they form one pair, and these two opposite angles they form the second pair. So in total we have two pairs of equal angles in rhombus. Now let's see the fourth property. It is related to diagonals of the rectangle. Diagonals bisect each other at 90 degree, just like square shape. You know that in a square diagonals bisect each other at 90. So same holds for this shape rhombus. The diagonals bisect each other and they also meet at 90 degree. Let's see in this diagram, this one is rhombus, this vertex and this vertex. We have total 4 vertices in this shape. One is this, because this side, these two sides, they are meeting at this point. It means this one is vertex, this one is second vertex, this one is third vertex, and this one is fourth vertex. 4 vertices हैं, you can say 4 corners हैं. So the diagonal is a line which connects two opposite corners. So this line, this one is joining these two vertices, these two corners. It means this one is diagonal. Now the second diagonal is this one. This corner and this corner, they are opposite to each other, and this line which is connecting these two corners, this line is diagonal. So we have 1 and 2 diagonals in rhombus. Now these two diagonals bisect each other. Now you know very well that what is the meaning of bisect? They cut each other in half. This diagonal, this one, this vertical diagonal, this diagonal is cutting this diagonal into 2 equal parts. This part, one from this point to this point, second from this point to this point. This line, you can see that this line is cutting this line into 2 equal parts. So this is the meaning of bisect, and this is same for the second diagonal. This diagonal is cutting this diagonal into 2 equal parts, 1 and 2. One from this point to this point, and then one from this point to this point. So each diagonal is cutting the second diagonal into 2 equal parts. दोनों diagonals एक दूसरे को 2 equal parts में cut करते हैं, and they form an angle of 90 degree at the point where they meet. Now you can see that these two diagonals, they are meeting, they are crossing each other at this point, and at this point you can see that this line and this line, they are forming a square corner here. It means there is an angle of 90 degree. There is an angle of 90 degree. We can form a square corner here, 90 degree here and 90 degree here. So at the point where the two diagonals cross each other, where the two diagonals meet each other, they form an angle of 90 degree. This one is the fourth property. It is just same like a square shape. Diagonals bisect each other, which means they cut each other in half. एक diagonal दूसरे को 2 equal parts में divide करता है, and जहाँ पर वो दोनों meet करते हैं वहाँ पर 90 का angle भी form होता है, a 90 degree angle है, क्योंकि वहाँ पर square corner बन जाता है. Now let's see the fifth property. How many lines of symmetry a rhombus has? It has 2 lines of symmetry. So just like rectangle, a rhombus has 2 lines of symmetry. You can see in these diagrams, this one is rhombus, and this line, this dotted line is dividing this rhombus into 2 equal parts. They are just the mirror image of each other, which means if we take this part and if we fold it along the line, if we fold this part onto the second part along this line, it will fit exactly onto this part. If we fold this part onto the second part along this line, अगर हम पेपर को इस तरह से ऐसे फोल्ड करते हैं, ऐसे करके अगर हम पेपर को फोल्ड करें, this part will exactly fit onto this part. It means this line is dividing this shape into 2 equal parts. Therefore this line is line of symmetry for this shape. So we can draw another line of symmetry in rhombus in horizontal direction. This one is vertical line of symmetry and this one is horizontal. Now you can see that this line is dividing this shape into exactly these two are the equal parts, which means if I take this upper part and if I just fold the paper along this line, if I just fold my paper along this line, this part will fit exactly onto this part. If we just fold this paper like this part will exactly fit onto this part. It means this line is dividing the shape into two equal parts, therefore this line is a line of symmetry for rhombus. So a rhombus has two lines of symmetry. A vertical line of symmetry, we can draw a line like this, and then a horizontal line of symmetry, we can draw a line like this. So in total we have two lines of symmetry. Let's summarize our today's lesson. In this lesson we discussed properties of rectangle and properties of rhombus. These are the properties of rectangle. How many equal sides, how many pairs of equal sides a rectangle has? A rectangle has two pairs of equal sides. Which two pairs? These two opposite sides, they form one pair, and these two opposite sides, they form the second pair. So one pair is this, second pair is this. It has two pairs of equal sides. This is the first property. Second property is how many pairs of parallel sides a rectangle has? Two pairs of parallel sides. Which two pairs? This side and this side. They are parallel to each other. You can see they are not cutting each other. This side and this side, they form one pair of parallel sides, and then this side and this side, they are not cutting each other. It means they are parallel to each other and they are forming the second pair. This one is first pair, these two sides are parallel, and this one is second pair, these two sides are parallel. So in total it has two pairs of parallel sides. Now what about the angles? All the angles are 90 degree. You can see inside the rectangle all the sides, they form square corners at the point where they meet. It means all the four angles are 90. So in rectangle all the angles that are inside the rectangle, they are 90 degree. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Total 4 angles are there and they are all 90 degree. All the angles are 90 degree inside a rectangle. The fourth property is diagonals. Diagonals bisect each other, which means they cut each other in half. This diagonal is cutting this diagonal into two equal parts. One from this point to this point, second from this point to this point. So this line, this diagonal is cutting this one into two equal parts. Similarly, this line is cutting this line into two equal parts. One from this point to this point, second from this point to this point. So each diagonal is cutting the second diagonal into two equal parts. And the important thing is they are not forming an angle of 90 degree. यहाँ पर आपको नज़र आ रहा है स्क्वायर कॉर्नर नहीं बन रहा है. इट मीन्स देर इज़ यहाँ पे 90 का एंगल नहीं है, यहाँ पर 90 का एंगल नहीं है, not here and not here. So they cut each other in half, they bisect each other, but they do not form an angle of 90 degree as they form for square. Square में 90 का एंगल बनता है यहाँ पर, और रेक्टेंगल में 90 का एंगल नहीं बनता है. Number 5 is line of symmetry. How many lines of symmetry? A rectangle has two lines of symmetry. We can draw a line like this, which divides the rectangle into two equal parts. So this one is line of symmetry for rectangle, and we can also draw a line like this, horizontal. It divides the rectangle into two equal parts. और कोई लाइन हम ड्रॉ नहीं कर सकते हैं जो शेप को टू इक्वल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करे. यही दो लाइन्स हम ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. इट मीन्स देयर आर टू लाइन्स ऑफ सिमेट्री इन अ रेक्टेंगल. These were the properties of rectangle. Now let's revise the properties of rhombus. This shape is called rhombus. How many equal sides it has? All the sides are equal. It has 4 equal sides, just like square. Square में भी 4 equal sides होती हैं और इसमें भी 4 equal sides हैं. These sides, they are all equal in length. ठीक है, these 4 sides. Now how many parallel sides are there? 2 pairs of parallel sides. Which 2 pairs? This side and this side, the opposite sides. ठीक है, जिन पर सिंगल एरो बना हुआ है. This side and this side, you can see that they are not cutting each other. ये दोनों एक दूसरे को क्रॉस नहीं कर रही हैं, कट नहीं कर रही हैं. They are parallel. They form one pair, and then these two sides, these two opposite sides, they are not cutting each other. It means they are parallel. They are forming the second pair. This one is one pair, this one is second pair. So there are total 2 pairs of parallel sides in rhombus. Now let's see angles. There are 2 pairs of equal angles. It has 2 pairs of equal angles. Which 2 pairs? The opposite angles. This angle is opposite to this angle. They are always equal in Meyer. It means if this one is 20 degree, this one is also 20 degree. They are always equal in Meyer. And then these 2 opposite angles, they form the second pair. They are equal in Meyer. If this one is 30, this one is also 30. Okay, so there are total 2 pairs of equal angles in rhombus. और वो कौन से angles equal होते हैं? Opposite angles. These two, they form one pair and they form the second pair. So 2 pairs of equal angles in rhombus. The fourth property says diagonals bisect each other. You know that bisect means each diagonal cuts the second diagonal into 2 equal parts and they form an angle of 90 degree at the point where they meet. ये diagonal इस second diagonal को 2 equal parts में cut कर रहा है, one part from this to this and one part from this point to this point. Similarly, this diagonal it is cutting this diagonal into 2 equal parts, one from this point to this point, second from this point to this point. So each diagonal, there are total 2 diagonals and each diagonal is cutting the second diagonal into 2 equal parts. This is the meaning of bisect. And now the second part of the sentence is they form an angle of 90 degree at the point where they meet. You can see that we can form a square corner here, and whenever the 2 lines form a square corner, it means there is an angle of 90 degree between them. So there is an angle of 90 degree, 90, 90 and 90. Now the fifth property is how many lines of symmetry a rhombus has. It has 2 lines of symmetry. You can see that we can draw a line like this. It divides the rhombus shape into 2 equal parts. It means this one is a line of symmetry, and if you see in this shape we can draw a line like this. It is dividing the shape into 2 equal parts. It means this one is also a line of symmetry. So there are total 2 lines of symmetry in a rhombus. कोई और line हम यहाँ पे draw नहीं कर सकते हैं which divides the shape into 2 equal parts. So we can only draw 2 lines. It means there are 2 lines of symmetry in shape rhombus. I hope you understood the properties of rectangle and the properties of rhombus. This is all for today. See you in the next lesson. Allah Hafiz.